Notice how Jesus remained controlled. You don't see him cursing. You don't see him screaming or raging or flying off the handle, as often ours does. As I was considering this message, I just thought it, many years ago, that Francis Schaeffer wrote a book, A Time for Anger. And I think if there's any day that there's a time for anger, this is a day. Now, I qualify that, a time for the right kind of anger, a time for righteous anger. This 2008, I believe, is a year of anger for us as Judah Christian community. I'm not pushing all that anger away. I'm saying we need to control our bad anger, and we need to rise up with more of our good anger, godly anger. Amen? Psalm 97 verse 10 says, "You who love the Lord hate evil." And aren't there not some things that we ought to be angry about? I realize that I've been too passionless. And my prayer is, God, I want to be more angry against the right things this year. Should we not be angry at the lives, the babies that are being lost through abortions? Pastor Rice and I were talking this week, and I said to him, we're talking about the political realm, the political candidates, and just how confusing it is, and how it's just who should have our vote. And I told him, I've never voted for a man who supported abortion. And he says, I've never voted for one either. And I don't believe our conscience, the fire that's within us, the fight within us, the anger within us will allow us to do so. There's a guideline for you as you consider political candidates. Don't vote for one that supports abortion. Should we not be angry at pornography and what it is doing to young and old? Gambling in all its forms. Some say that's even worse of an addiction than pornography. Should we not be angry at the sex-crazed, profanity-filled movie industry that is polluting the minds of young and old? Should we not be angry at gutless politicians who do what is politically expedient instead of what is morally right? Oh, how I long for a statesman. A statesman, not a politician, but I long for statesmen. We used to have, I have Abraham Lincoln on my office wall. He was a statesman. He did what was best for the country, not what was best for him. Not what was best for his career. And often his career suffered because of it. We could name others. Winston Churchill in England, I believe, was a statesman. But I say, God, give us statesmen, not politicians. Should we not be angry as we hear about the things in Kenya going on? And it stemmed from the political realm. Two men fighting over who should be president. One accusing the other of being illegal in getting there. The other one standing up and saying no, and I rightfully should be here, and now they're fighting over who should be there. And many lives are being taken. Many thousands, hundreds of thousands are homeless today in Kenya because of that. Our own Pastor Martin, his father, is now housing 20 family members who are homeless in that country. And Martin is trying to be able to send some funds to help them. Should we not be angry at the church in Russia that we helped, the Lord allowed Kathy and I to plant there? At the burning of the church. Some of you don't even know that. But Todd Rose wrote just recently of a fire that occurred in the church. Everything was fine. They had a night watchman at 4 o'clock in the morning, but by 5, their church building, at least a portion of it, was burned to the ground. It just happened to be the building where all their musical equipment and instruments, computers type stuff was in. All gone. Maybe $100,000 wiped out in a moment of time. Believed to be arson, but the police won't pursue it because they don't want any it's an election year, and they don't want to stand for the Christians. They want to stand for the political machine in this year. An injustice has been done. Should we not be angry? Should we not be angry at whenever we see man's inhumanity to man? Oh, we should rise up with anger in our hearts. Henry Ward Beecher says, a man that does not know how to be angry does not know how to be good. A man that does not know how to be shaken to his heart's core with indignation over things evil is either a fungus or a wicked man. Oh, how I love the preacher Billy Sunday, who is said to have said on one occasion, I hate the devil. I'll punch him. I'll fight him. I'll beat him. I'll kick him. I'll bite him. And when I'm old and toothless, I'll gum him to death. Don't you love that passion? That heart of anger there. I do too. So, finally, victorious anger. There's a victorious anger. There's a good anger, a bad anger, but there's a victorious anger. And that is controlled anger. Ever says, I just can't control it? You ever said that? You can. You can control it. Ever been, or maybe you've witnessed it. Maybe it's either been you or have you witnessed it. You see somebody talk in an argument. Maybe it's a husband and wife. Maybe it's a couple of friends, so-called friends. But they're fighting and arguing. One of them gets a phone call. Picks up the phone. Hello, can I help you? With a nice, sweet voice. He controlled his anger, didn't he? So don't tell me you can't control your anger. You can. Let me give you 3 things to do with anger. Confront it. When you feel it begin to rise, don't ignore it. Pretend it's not there. Don't let it come out with violence. Call it what it is. Anger. Of all the prescriptions of anger to help us to manage anger, I think this is one of the best. Be